Everybody, we just try to continue listen to all the students do the presentation, okay? So, all right, so next I think we would invite this group.
No. Belgium. Did you brought some Belgian Bibles?
Next time. Next time.
So, would you please?
We're next?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's already there.
Still have to mentally prepare, but alright.
Surprise.
Yeah.
No?
Hello. Okay, so my name is Sarah Marcus, and we're from Belgium, so we're going to talk about the Belgian culture. So first we're going to look into the more above the surface, so that the characteristics and the values, or the culture that you can see Belgium. So for example, like the language, the symbols, the artifacts, rituals, and behavior.
So I'm going to start with the languages. The two main languages are Dutch and French. And then there's a very small part that speaks German. But it's like a tiny village or something, so.
There's two regions, just to clarify. The northern region is the Flemish region, and then the southern region is French. This will make more sense later. So now for the Belgian symbols. This is, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but basically if I see it, I think directly of Belgium. It's called the Atomium, and it was made a while ago, and it was for the Europe Fair or something. I don't know. It's a Belgian symbol. Just trust me. And then Belgian flag. Belgian fries are very popular. A lot of the European councils or European Union things are in Belgium. So we're kind of like the heart of that. We drink a lot of beer, and we have a lot of different glasses for beer, so you can't just put any type of beer in a glass. You have to have a special glass for that beer. It's pretty chocolate, waffles, the Belgian lion, the typical Belgian houses. In Brussels, we have a little statue of a little boy that pees. I'm not sure why, but this is pretty symbolic for Belgium. And then Tintin, I don't know, it's a cartoon.
Then Belgian artifacts. We first have the statue of Brabo, which stands in Antwerp, and it's the story of how Antwerp got its name. So it's a legend where there was a big giant who terrorized the port of Antwerp, and this guy, Brabo, he didn't like that and cut off his hand and threw it. And then in Dutch, throwing means werpen and hand means hand. So Antwerpen, and from that Antwerpen came. And then these statues are at the top of some old houses, and they represent what the families that used to live there did in their jobs.
Next, there are the traditions in Belgium. I'm not sure if this is really Belgium, but in Belgium, a lot of people do celebrate this with Sinterklaas. And on the night of December 5th, I believe, he comes through your chimney and he puts presents for the kids. So it's kind of like Santa Claus, but 2 weeks earlier. Next is we write, when I was a kid, I used to have to write a New Year's letter to my grandparents and my parents to wish them a Happy New Year. And also, with the holiday of the Three Kings, we sing to our neighbors. We go to their house, we sing, and then in return we either get money or candy. So kind of like Halloween, but yeah. And And to show you that we are not lying, these are pictures of me when I was a kid listening to the class. The kid in the purple is not a boy, that is me. Yeah. And then here I'm reading my New Year's greetings to my grandpa. And then I'm celebrating 3 kings. We kind of dress up as the kings and then we go and sing to the houses.
So Belgian behavior. They're very passionate about any sport or any activity that they participate in. They're very social. They like to go for beers, no matter what day it is in the week, no matter. People say that they're bad drivers. I say that. And then they have a lot of festivals. For example, Tomorrowland, the biggest one. And when they greet each other, they kiss each other on the cheek. Some boys also do that.
And now, since we have 2 regions, and the 2 regions are very, in my opinion, different, I will be comparing the Flemish region and the French region in their behaviors. So first of all, the Flemish population, we don't really know anything about the French region. Like, for example, a famous rapper that might be really, really famous and known in the French region, we have no idea. Like, I can't name any French rappers from Brussels or something. So we have a very Flemish population only mindset. The Flemish region is known to work hard, or harder than the French region. So we take our jobs very seriously, we study hard. Not saying that the French don't, but Flemish is more. Because we work so hard, the Flemish region drives a lot of nice cars. More of like luxurious lifestyle, I guess, in the northern region. And yeah, we like to socialize. After dinner, we don't go out of the restaurant right away, which is something I do notice here in Asia. When you're done, you leave. In Belgium, mostly the Flemish region, you sit down, you have more drinks, you talk, you share stories. Yeah. Also, we do find it necessary to learn French in the Flemish region. So for example, if you go to Antwerp, people will speak French. But if you go to Brussels or the cities in the French region, they don't speak Dutch, so it's really difficult to speak the national language in the southern part of the country. So same with the French speaking, they don't know anything about us. It's like we're kind of 2 different countries. They're more liberal, liberal. They're pretty lazy, or that's like the stereotype of it. I mean, I'm sure there's people over there that work hard, but the stereotype is they are more lazy. They do nothing. Before, like, I don't know how many years ago, the French region actually used to be the richer region. So they have always kept this mindset of we are better than you. So what we call, for example, in a Dutch school, we call them francophones. So like, oh, they're from the French region, they're like the stuck-up people, they think they're better than us. And even though right now the Flemish region is better, or not better, they are more rich, I guess. The French people still have that mindset of, being better. And they don't think it's necessary, like I said before, they don't think it's necessary to learn Dutch, so that's very difficult to speak Dutch.
Now we come to the part that isn't directly visible, the attitudes and the values. So the Belgian attitudes.
At first, Belgians are very closed off. We don't really, if we have a friends group, we are not going to easily go talk to other people and invite them into our friends group, so you can't sit with us. But later, when you get to know the person more, so when you're more open, you can sit with us. You are allowed to come, you are, you're, I guess, more included into the group. The value, attitude is very like the good life. We enjoy nice clothes, nice vacations, nice cars, nice houses. Yeah. Family is very important to us, so we visit our family randomly. Even though I saw yesterday, I will come over again. It's very family oriented, and we do dress for success. I feel Belgians and other countries as well, but you see, for example, example, the Flemish and the French region, you see which ones are the Flemish region. They dress nicer, we dress for success.
Okay, so the values. Belgians value equality in race, sexuality, whatever. They were one of the first to legalize gay marriage. Then they value family, so they put family first. And they value politeness in everything. And the social life, as already said. So they like going on holidays with their friends, hanging out after school, after work, etc.
That's it. Any questions?
So how many languages do you speak? Do you speak all of them? French, Dutch?
I speak French, Dutch, and English. He speaks Dutch.
English and German.
Any other questions?
Any question? Yes.
Can you tell us some famous brand of beer?
Stella?
So,
Stella?
Beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Belgian beer is more famous.
Leffe? You're more a beer drinker, I don't know. Duvel?
It's the most famous, I
The devil.
So both of you guys are from the Flemish region.
Yes.
Well, I'm
Can't you tell?
actually German, so
You're on the French region.
no, I wasn't born in Belgium, or I just lived there for 18 years. Yeah.
Another one?
So you say that people say that you are a good driver. Why?
He said that. No, I mean, I feel
He means the woman.
you can notice Belgians, maybe it's not bad driving, but they're very, I guess they don't think, they're very aggressive. For example, something he always says, like, if you're driving and someone is parked, they will open their door without looking to see if there's a car coming. So it's kind of like reckless driving. It's not bad driving, but they don't think.
Did you drive a car in Taiwan? No?
No, but I can imagine that it's scary to drive here.
What's like the biggest surprise for you in Taiwan?
Surprised weather.
Toilets?
It's not. Toilets, maybe, yeah. Probably.
Not that much.
No, but definitely the weather. The weather is very, I don't know. I like cold weather in the fall. Like, when my birthday comes, I like being in a sweater.
In Belgium, weather is very cold and rain every week, maybe every day, and here it never rains.
Oh,
So,
I hope so. I really hope it is. Anything else?
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, this one. Okay, good afternoon. Ni hao. Okay, let's start with sort of talk in about Indonesia. Can I not use this because yeah, I feel comfortable without. Okay. Many people when they ask about Indonesia, many people didn't know about Indonesia, but they know about Bali. But in reality, Bali is the part of Indonesia. So Bali is a one little island in Indonesia, you can see in this location. But Indonesia is this big, not that big. This is Singapore, this is Malaysia, so this is big. Okay, it's big. That's Australia. Okay, so Indonesia. Indonesia has a national flag is a red and white. The red one is mean that we are courageous, brave, yeah, and then the white one is we are like purity, but they are not actually like that, just symbolism. So Indonesia has more than 17,000 islands, so it categorized as a biggest small country, a biggest number island in the country. So yeah, something like that. So yeah, we have 5 major islands. The first one is the Sumatra, Java, Borneo, Sulawesi, and Papua, and rest of it is a smaller countries. And Indonesian population is the recent data is 237 millions. Yes, so that's why Indonesia has a number 4 biggest population in the world. The first one is China, second is India or USA. I forget this second, third, and the fourth is Indonesia. And Indonesia, yeah, have 90% of its population is Muslim, but we are not a religious country. We are still a democratic country, but it is a largest Islamic population in the world. Even with the Arab country, we have more Muslims in Indonesia, and we consist of 33 provinces. And the fact is, every province has their own like ethnic. So yeah, we have so many ethnic in Indonesia, and we often called as a emerald in Equators. I don't know why people call us emerald in Equators. Maybe because we have so many forests. But yeah, it was so. Yesterday now we don't have enough forest in Indonesia because of deforestation, and people like to cut trees and cut the forest, burn down the forest. So yeah, it's like it's no more emerald in Equator. And our national motto, I haven't write it down, is the equality in diversity or Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. So about the culture of Indonesia, as we said, the long interaction between original indigenous custom and multiple foreign influences. Especially Indonesian culture are influenced by Far East, Southeast Asia, and Middle East. Far East, like, because of it, so many like religion come in Indonesia: Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucius. I'm not sure what I wrote here. Confucianism and Islam and Christianity. More of Indonesian culture affected by that. Yeah, this our national language is Bahasa Indonesia, but Indonesia has 726 local language, and the fact is not all Indonesian people can speak Bahasa Indonesia, so they still stick with their local language. Sometimes Java people talk Java only, sometimes Sumatrans talk only Sumatrans, and even in the specific region they have more than one local language. So yeah, it's hard to communicate with another people from another part of Indonesia, especially when they cannot speak Bahasa Indonesia. So yeah, this is the traditional customs Indonesia. Yeah, because we have more than 33 ethnics. Yeah, 33 provinces, 33 ethnics, more of it. And these are the some of traditional customs. I cannot show it all because it will take a lot of time to browse, and I'm too lazy for that. So I just the most like known for people. So Islam, yeah, you can see yourself. Yeah, it's like so different characteristic of it ethnic. So like Java, they usually use like gold, and Jakarta they use difference. These traditional customs affected by the condition of the tradition. So yeah, these are the examples of it. And yeah, we got batik. Batik, yeah, I got this the batik, but I don't wear it because yeah, it's too hot when I wear it. I'm sweating a lot. So batik is the national clothes, and many people in Indonesia wear it, especially students. They ask school made a regulation for students to wear batik at the Fridays. So yeah, government said that it will make students love their culture, but yeah, not really. So batik also have a different like motif from different regions, so you can see by yourself. Yeah, I cannot give you the differentiation because I also didn't know about batik so well. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, another culture of Indonesia is dancing. Yeah, dance. Yeah, it reflects the diversity of culture from ethnic groups. Yeah, especially Indonesian dance are affected by the Indian culture. So if you watch a Indian dance, yeah, you can see the similarity with the Indonesian dance. But yeah, in the recent years, because so many Middle Eastern in Indonesia, yeah, we little bit affected by the Middle Eastern, like some Arab something. Okay. Yeah, we Indonesia have a more than 3,000 Indonesian original dances, but just a number actually is not that much because not many people know that dance. So like some kind of dance is extinct in recent years. Okay. Yeah, these are some of the examples of the traditional dances in Indonesia. Yeah. There's some. Yeah, you can see that in the far right is Iman Wayang is like of Indian culture. So yeah, it's have a similarities with Indian culture because yeah, our Indonesian culture are affected a lot by Indian culture. So we kind of assimilating their culture to our culture. Yes, and arts and craft. You can see that it's yeah, is the wayang, topeng bali, ondel-ondel, and also wayang. Yeah, is more of like a national symbol also because many of Indonesia like knew it and even in the festivals, this ondel-ondel like dancing around like this with them. So that's ondel-ondel. Okay, music. Music also affected by the Indonesia is home to music from the island of Java, Sumatra, and Bali, and frequently recorded. And the traditional music of Central and East Java and Bali is the gamelan. So in case you don't know what is gamelan, like is like this, and it cannot play by one person. So we need like a lot of people to play a set of gamelan because if you only play gamelan by yourself, it's like play a bass drum, so just the dub without any rhythm to it. So you need a lot of people to play set of gamelan. So this the gamelan orchestra. So if you play just by yourself, it's like just this and no sound of other of this. So yeah. I don't know what is this. Just people just like mistake. Yeah, just frozen. I don't know what this is. It's from the eastern part of Indonesia. So I don't really know what it is. Okay. Another culture of Indonesia is drama, martial art like silat and music, sculpture, and etc. Yeah, this my favorite part is about the food in Indonesia. Yeah, the food. Yeah, we have more than. Actually, Indonesia didn't have a traditional food because so many traditional food from its ethnic. So there is so many food to list. So I just write the most common food in Indonesia, and generally Indonesia love spicy things, but for me I don't like spicy things because I cannot eat spicy things. But most of these food are spicy. Yeah. Especially, except this is the ice. It's not spicy. Okay. And these are the 24 characteristics of Indonesian people. The first one is faint-hearted. Faint-hearted. Extrovert. Not really. For me, I'm not extrovert. And careful. 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 It means that they didn't want to hurt another people's feelings, so that's mean by careful. Then friendly and more friendly. Indonesian people tend to want to know another people, so they like to communicate with another people. Generally, some people are not. And then lazy. Lazy. Most of Indonesians are lazy. And then live just for today. It's mean that they didn't think about tomorrow. They just tomorrow problem is for tomorrow. So live just for today. And then no planning. Live just for today. Religious, family oriented, like most of Asian countries. So they usually tend to stay closer to their family. And then helpful. Many people. Many foreign people in Indonesia say that Indonesians are very helpful, but not really, because sometimes if we don't knew that people, we don't like to help that people. And then inventor of the rubber clock. It means that Indonesians are not very punctual. When we have a appointment at 1, we came at 1:30. So that's the meaning of rubber clock. And then like corruption. Corruption, especially in government, is a major cases in Indonesia. Corruption and irrational, slow. We just take it easy and maybe to be a follower. We don't like invent something. We just follow another people if they do that, and we think that it's good. So we just follow manners. Like we don't. Like most of Asian countries, and less disciplines. Using feelings then rather than logic, not obeying the rules. One of the illustration is like in another country, like in traffic light is red, yellow, and green. In another country, red means stop, yellow means careful, and green means go. But in Indonesia, green means go, yellow means careful. It's almost red, so you must be speeding. And then red, stop, but if there are no police, you can go. It's mean. And then tolerant, humble, and do not like style or give bad news. It's like careful. And then silent in the meeting. And cannot swim. Even though Indonesia has a longest shoreline in the world, but most of Indonesian people cannot swim. Okay. And this is the economy part, so export products is oil and gas, you can see the graph by yourself. And this is the imports, most of it is the high-tech products, so Indonesia cannot produce a high-tech product, so we just import it. So thank you for your attention.
Okay, so any question? Yes? You want to ask a question first?
Our country is very close.
Alright.
Yes.
traditional clothing and any symbolism for it?
Yeah, popular colors in Indonesia usually we use a red and a gold because I don't know why they use red and gold, but usually most of traditional clothing use a red and gold. Yeah, red and gold combinations.
How many islands did you visit? Yeah, because you mentioned the 17,000 islands.
A more than 20 island, but it's like the big island is four island that I already visit. The rest of it is the small islands. So yes, 17,000 I think I cannot go to that all island in my life. So yeah, it's kind of impossible to go to that all of the islands.
Would you like to be the leader in the future? And how to manage your country?
For me, I don't really like to be a leader in my country because there is so much negative things in my country. So I just do like the normal life in Indonesia. Don't want to be a leader.
Okay, good. And another question? Yes.
Was it hard for you to adapt to the Taiwanese culture?
Yeah, for culture is kind of similar because in Indonesia we also have so many Chinese and I have so many Chinese friends, so the culture is quite similar. But besides of the culture, the weather is quite different. So humid here, so I must sweat. I sweat a lot. So that's
Okay, good.
Just a short one. Vega, how do you pronounce it again? Thank you. Terima kasih.
Xie.
No. Like the Indonesian one. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Yeah, I think in Singapore also.
Yeah. We have it outside.
So long.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
现在
Very nice. Can I see this one?
Yeah, so at least then I will have one of each. Wait. Oh, that one.
Okay.
Now, present the survey. Is it we must submit a report? Yeah.
One again.
And one more.
One more.
Of course, one more. Professor, one more.
Okay. Oh, he's absent today, so we will cover for him. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Hi everyone. We're going to present about Singapore today. Oh yeah. Okay. I forgot to.
Hello. Okay. So today we're going to present about Singapore. I'm Audrey and this is Eugenia. Actually there's another guy, Seamus, but he's absent today, so we'll cover for him. Okay. So yeah, Singapore. Okay, let's start. Okay, so this is our flag. The symbols represented in our flag. It looks a bit like Indonesia's, right? Like the red and white. But the red stands for the universal brotherhood and the equality of man. And then the white stands for everlasting purity and virtue. And the crescent moon represents a young nation on the ascent. Because when we created this flag, we were the youngest country, the youngest nation. Yeah, but now we are like 52, so yeah. And then the 5 stars stand for our core principles: democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality, which is also in our national pledge. Okay, about Singapore. It's in Southeast Asia. It's a cosmopolitan city comprising mostly of Chinese, Malays, Indians, and Eurasians. Has a landmass that is quite small as compared to Taiwan. And all Taiwan has 23.55 million, we have 5.6 million. So we are very small. We also have 4 official languages. However, the national language is Malay. And we are also known as the Lion City. Okay, so the religion in Singapore, there's a lot. And the thing I really like about the religion is that if you walk along the street, you can find a church, and then next to a temple, and then next to a mosque. So you can have all 3 religions on just one stretch of road like this, and no one's gonna say anything because it's normal for us. And then the race in Singapore, like I said, there's 4. So Chinese takes up we are more predominant. But I think as a Singaporean, when I walk along the streets, I think it doesn't really occur to me whether you are Chinese or not. Like, do you mean you're just a Singaporean? So, yeah. Okay, fun facts about Singapore. Even though our national language is Malay, English is more widely used in our country. And despite being known as the Lion City in Singapore, there were actually never any lions in Singapore. If you want to know why we are called the Lion City, though, you can always ask later. We can tell you the story. It's how we were founded. That's why we were called the Lion City. Singapore's airport, Changi Airport, has been ranked the world's best for the past 5 years according to Business Insider. And we are among the fastest walkers in the world, an average rate of 6.5 kilometers per hour. That's about half as fast as a bicycle. Yeah. Okay, Eugenia?
Okay, so we have virtually no natural resources, and actually our founding father, which is our Prime Minister, late Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, actually saw the opportunity. We were actually tiny and undeveloped, but he helped us turn ourselves around from a third world country to a developing country. So by using Singapore's strategic location and natural harbour, and we also have more pro-business policies to welcome foreign trade and investment. And we are ranked 2nd for the ease of doing business according to 2016 World Bank. Okay. Next. Okay, so we also have a new water initiative. So this started because we were part of Malaysia and they supplied us with water, but there were some problems with negotiations. So we also developed our own initiative to treat wastewater by using such purifying steps and to reuse, reduce and recycle. Okay, so this is the Merlion, which is the national personification of Singapore. The name combines mer, meaning the sea, and lion, and this is actually based on our humble beginnings as a fishing village before. And our national flower is the Vanda Miss Joaquim, which is chosen for its vibrant colours, hardiness and resilience. Okay, so along the streets we have, because we are a mix of diverse culture, we have Chinatown, Little India and Kampong Glam in Singapore. We also celebrate Racial Harmony Day to commemorate the 1964 racial riot. So schools will celebrate and you are free to dress as your own religion, or you can dress dress as other ethnic groups, other races, or you can dress differently if you have like close friends, like Malay friends, then you can dress as a Malay. Okay, so these are some of our famous landmarks. This is the Esplanade where we celebrate the arts. Okay, and the Singapore Flyer and Gardens by the Bay. Okay, next is Haw Par Villa, which is our famous for depictions of Chinese folklore, which is very close to heart for me, because I'm a Buddhist also. So like they will show like 10 cords of hell, which is quite scary actually. But we also have more scenes from Chinese legends such as Journey to the West and Madam Whitesnake. Yeah, so if you want, you can take a look here next time.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about something that's very unique to us, Singlish. So this is an example. Okay, yeah, I said that there were 4 main languages, right? Like 4 official languages. But the thing is that when we speak in a sentence, you can speak more than one. But you can speak actually more than 2 languages in one sentence. Okay. So for example, this language. Okay. This sentence here, I'll pronounce it for you. So it goes. They 我们 pak tor always makan at kopitiam one. So so the translation is hey, 我们 so it's like we Chinese when we date, pak tor means date. That's Cantonese. Pak tor date. We always makan is Malay for eat. At kopitiam. So kopitiam is one word, but it is a combination of Malay and Hokkien or Hakka. And then the one I have no idea why there's a one. So I think it sounds very it rolls off your tongue. So do you have time? If you have time, then I'll go through the little lesson on la and le. No? Okay, I'll go through this later. If you want, you can ask. But every la and le, it's actually derived from the dialects that we have in Singapore. Like I'm Cantonese, you are Hokkien, yeah. So like me is like derived from Hokkien and le is derived from me is derived from Cantonese and le is derived from Hokkien. Yeah, correct. Right. Okay. And also the most important part of a country is always their food. Okay. So this here is our hawker centers. So what our hawker center is it's just this common eating area where like stalls just congregate and then they just sell food. So this arrangement came about because we used to have street foods as well, but then our government decided that it was unhygienic and they wanted to raise hygiene levels. So then they decided to have this thing called hawker stores. So I'll just flash some food here. I think some of it might be quite familiar because since our country is made of immigrants, we have stolen things from around the world. For example, this is satay. Satay, yes. Vega, satay. It's like meat on a stick. Kebab, yeah. Laksa, chili crab, Hainanese chicken rice, Hokkien mee, Fujian mian, orloa, oyster omelette. Yeah, you have it here. You guys have it here too. Orloa, bak kut teh, which is literally translated to pork tea, and then sambal stingray, roti prata, char kway teow, nasi lemak, and kaya toast. Yeah. So when I was eating food, I was so hungry. Yeah. Okay, so our culture, right? So this is the weird thing, because Eugenia mentioned that we are made of many different cultures, right? And the funny thing is that different communities, we do not regard ourselves as sharing a culture. Instead, we are like parts of a whole. So in this picture here, it's depicted. This dish is called rojak. So rojak is a salad with various ingredients which are covered by the same peanut sauce, forming a distinct whole with each ingredient clearly discernible. The peanut sauce is the Singaporeanness of it. So the other ingredients are the different cultural traditions. So you get it's like a metaphor that all different types of traditions come together and we are brought together with just the whole Singaporeanness of it. Yeah. Okay, etiquette and customs. This is the most boring part. So Chinese, we have traditionally 3 names. So like my name is Liang Yiwei. So the first name is Liang, right? The surname Liang, and then followed by the next 2 names. So Yiwei is my next 2 names, and then so you can address someone like by their title and then their surname. And if you want to move to a first name basis, then they will advise you on which of the 2 names to use. I think this is very traditional more in Taiwan here or China. But in Singapore, like a lot of our Chinese, we have Western names. So, like my name in my birth certificate is actually Leong Wen Wai, which is a dialect name. However, then my parents realized that it's a bit too hard to pronounce, so then they gave me Audrey. So that's my Western name that I prefer to go by because it's easier to pronounce. Then Malays, okay. So Malays, they don't have surnames. Instead, men add the father's name to their own name, to the connector bin. So it's very confusing. Their name is very, very, very long. So they will have like Noor bin Isa. So Noor will be the son of Isa. And then women will use binti. So Zarina binti Isa would be Zarina, the daughter of Isa. Yes, okay. Then the name Said or am I pronouncing this right? Am I pronouncing this right? I am? No? Okay. Sharifah, right? Indicates that the person is considered to be a descendant of their prophet, Muhammad. And then Indians, they don't have surnames. Instead, they have the initial of their father's name in the front of their own name. So then they will have their name and then S/O, which means son of, and then the father's name. And women use DO, which is daughter of. Okay. Okay, so the more, this is one of our trademarks, the SIA girl. Has anyone ever flown Singapore Airlines? No? Okay. So Singapore, this is Singapore Airlines. So this is the SIA girl. So they're actually so popular in Singapore. They are like when you see them, you know, people just know that they are from SIA and they are from Singapore. It's so popular that they actually have a wax figure in Madame Tussauds. Yeah. Okay. Fun part: the art of drinking coffee in a kopitiam. So we have different types of coffee, and then the bold parts, right, are actually what you order at the store. So for example, if I just say kopi, then the kopi uncle will understand what I mean. Like the guy making the coffee will understand what I mean. So I say like kopi, or kopi O, kopi C, kopi O kosong, kopi peng, kopi siu dai, kopi kai dai, kopi gao, kopi po. So it's like there are different types, and it's all just condensed into like this kind of short forms, and somehow magically we just know what it is. Okay, and well, tea there's more, so I don't want to talk about the tea. And then this is your takeaway bags. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So then that's about it. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Okay, any question?
You gave such a good presentation.
So what kind of food do you miss most?
Chicken rice. Hainanese chicken rice. Yeah. Hainan si bandit. Yeah. I'm so hungry. Cry.
Okay.
So what's the story with the lion?
Okay, so our founding story is that Sanggana Utama was a prince, right? From where? Indonesia, is he? I don't know, he was a prince from somewhere. And he was he was running away from his home. I think his father wanted to execute him for some reason. So he was running away from home, and he had all his treasures with him. And then in the middle of the night, there was a ship, like there was a storm, and then the ship was about to flip over, right? And then his servant said, "You have to dump some of your treasures." So then he threw everything out, and then the only treasure left was his crown. And the thing is that he didn't want to throw away that crown, and it was actually the heaviest treasure on that ship. So then I think in the end they shipwrecked, and when they shipwrecked, they came to this island, which is now known as Singapore. And when they came to this island, there was a lion. So then he saw the lion, and he named the city Singapura. Therefore, that means Lion City. Yeah, it's a folklore, is it? Yeah, it's a folklore. Yeah.
Okay, another one?
For example, the Chinese New Year, does the whole Singapore, like,
Yeah.
we have a holiday. How about if it's a Muslim celebration? Do you also take the holiday? How do you observe?
So it's like, for example, right now, Deepavali is coming up. It's it's a
Festival of Lights.
yeah, it's a festival of lights celebrated by the Hindus, right? So it is like, for example, I'm Christian, right? But like I don't celebrate Deepavali, but the whole Singapore gets a public holiday off. Yeah. So for example, Chinese New Year we have like about 2 days. I know in China they have like 1 week, so we're like, oh, that's so not fair. So like the entire Singapore just gets a break off, and then the Chinese go and visit their relatives and stuff like that. Yeah. So if it's not your holiday, like don't celebrate. But if you have friends who you want to visit or whatever, like you want to play into their own, like you want to partake in their traditions, then you can also. Yeah.
They will invite you also.
Yeah.
You just go and see.
Yeah, and you get money. Yeah. Terima kasih.
Okay, terima kasih, okay? So we have a break, 10 minutes, and let's come back again.
The location.
Where's my make some magic and he's gonna come up on the presentation.
I hope I have that power, but suddenly I'm not. Okay, so
FaceTime Maki.
I would like to do that, but that's not possible.
He's not going to reply.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is. One more.
You say konnichiwa.
Yeah, well, konnichiwa. Everyone knows that.
Pikachu.
So we will go that part, okay? Okay. So everyone knows. Well, I think everyone knows me, Mark, right? And Maki is not here, sadly, but I have no idea what he. So I'm going to talk about Japan, and I think everyone knows Japan, right? You don't need to be ashamed and say, "Oh, sorry, I have no idea what Japan is or where Japan is." But everyone knows. Okay, we can't go about that. All right. So today I'm going to talk about mainly three things. The first thing is basic stats about Japan. And then Japanese culture and Japanese people, works, value, well, their insights, that kind of stuff. So, for the beginning, our capital is Tokyo. And yes. So, usually, we will draw Japan like this. Like this. Basically, something like this. So, Tokyo is around here. And my city, Osaka, is around here. This distance is about Taipei to Kaohsiung, so it's pretty far, like 6-hour drive, basically. We are very different. Tokyo people are generally like Taipei people. Okay, they work faster. They're political central. They're economy central too, and mainly financial stuff like New York. And also Washington D.C. because they are the capitals. Then about our ethnic groups. Mainly, we Japanese are only one ethnic one group. We are Japanese. We basically are Japanese. We don't have a lot of foreigners. We do have some foreigners recently because our age problem, because we have a lot of older people and young people's number is going up every year. So that's why we have a lot of foreign workers, but it's very hard, okay? It's very hard to become Japanese in two sense. I will talk about that in personality part. But usually, what you have to know is we only have one Japanese that is a group. And then we have a religion. Our religion name is Shindo. Shindo, or what Shindo is. Shindo is more like a North European idea of religion. We believe everything has a God. So using a computer, and that computer has a God. And we have a camera back there. Camera has a God. Even the smallest stone has a God inside in it. So we have very different idea of God and religion itself. Basically, try to think this. We are very small island compared to China, United States, Europeans. We are very small islands. So that's why we believe you don't waste anything, okay? So we create this God idea to say you cannot waste anything because even smallest thing has a God and you have to spend your respect to it. So that's why we have the Shindo religion. Well, this goes very deep. So right now I'm talking about just, what I'm talking about is just very surface belief stuff. And if you have interested in, you can go. And that top picture right there is Kyoto, which is just slightly above this city, which is my city, Osaka. Then, the second part is Japanese anime culture. And I will go, whoa, I see someone doing this, okay. So, how many of you watch anime? Can you raise your hand? Like anything that's like Pokemon, some deep shit, I don't know. Alright, I see many of you watch anime before, okay. So, anime is we call subculture because you, in your country you have a main culture which is religion, your personal behavior, and other stuff like local traditional clothes, this kind of stuff. But then we have, in the culture, they have subculture, which is you create after the main culture created. Anime, what is anime? Anime is animation in Japanese term. It's called anime, and that's it. And what anime is, basically, anime is Japanese animation. The reason we call anime, and in the world it says anime, is because Japanese animation is very different than the Western animation. If you watch like Batman or those kind of animation before, you will tell the difference, because in Batman, one episode finish. Okay, so Batman saw something, Batman fights, and Batman done, and something become better, and it's done. But in Japanese animation, it's one circle. One circle is one season. One season is basically 4 weeks, right? But when we say one circle, it means 3 weeks to 4 weeks. Basically, it's like 20 till 16 episodes. And then in these 20 till 16 episodes, something happens, something ends. So it's different. In the Batman or whatever the Western animation, it's like one episode. But we spend like one whole season for that. Okay? So that's a difference, and obviously you can see the characters are different. Japanese anime are mainly about Japanese high school, and I will talk about why it's mainly focused on Japanese high schooler in later. But what you should know is there basically it's very focused on like Japanese young people, and also there's one point you should know is anime has been changed. Before, anime is mainly originated, okay? So there's a bland idea, and some companies decided, okay, we want to make anime of idea. And then, so that's why it's called OVA, Original Video Anime, okay? But right now, it's a little different. Just like it's right here. Anime films right now is based on mangas, like Naruto, or Pokemon actually don't have a manga, but they are based on games, okay? But Pokemon was a game before. So that's why recently there's a lot of anime based on books, novels, and games. Okay? So that's a little little shift from the past and recent. Well, anyway. So our Japanese language is hiragana and katakana. This is hiragana. We have 50 sounds. And actually we have more than 50 sounds because we have little dot and we have a little circle. So if we say this is fu, and if you put dot right there, it's called bu. And if this is a circle, it's called pu. So that's why a lot of people in my Japanese class, because I was teaching Japanese in Taiwan, in my Japanese class, after they learn these, they say, okay, it's 50 and it's easy. And after like 2 weeks, they were like, teacher, there's more than 50. Yeah, of course. So, and also there's small sounds. So this is chi, but there is a small ya right there, and it's called cha. So that's why there are combinations too. Okay, but there's combinations, there's points, there's dots, there's circles. So a lot of sounds. And then we use kanji as a hanzi in Chinese, right? So we use a hanzi too. Our version of Chinese are a little weird, actually, because we're between the Chinese, like China Hanzi, and Taiwanese Hanzi. Our generation of Hanzi is like between them. So that's why sometimes I can read Taiwanese newspaper, but a lot of time I cannot read the character because it's kind of like simplified and old, and well, I don't know what happened there, but it's just between them. So I can understand few, but mostly I don't really know. So that's our language. If you want to learn, you can ask me later. And then, well, everybody famous party. I can see this guy is changing his stance. But, food. Everybody like food, right? I mean, who don't like food? So these are the picture of my city, Osaka's food, because we Japanese have a lot of food and there's a lot of weird foods. And I don't go to the weird part. I will go to the delicious part, which is my city is called the most delicious city in Japan because everything will come to my city because there's a lot of gourmet people. And Kyoto, just like I said, was there, and Kyoto was the old capital. And everything, because Osaka is faced to the ocean, so that's why everything goes to Kyoto before they have to come to Osaka first. So that's why we can have all ingredients, all cultures, all food in Osaka before. Well, right now they changed to Tokyo, so that's why our business is not good like before. But well, that's another story. So that's why we have a lot of good stuff. This one is. They fry a lot of veggies, meats, those kind of stuff, and it's delicious with beers. Well, beer drinker, that's good news. And then this one is we call takoyaki. It's like a snacks. So if you have a chance to go to Japan, this is like 3 o'clock afternoon tea kind of thing. And then the last one is okonomiyaki, and let's say it's just good, and it's really fulfilling. Okay, you eat one like pie like that, you're already full. Like even for the boys. So that's some basic Japanese food culture right there.
Takoyaki in Taiwan is really big.
Yeah, I know. I'm about. There is some Japanese festival. Sometimes they happen at the Soko, so you can try that. That's more a bit than like local Japanese. Anyway. Then, like I said, we have a very strong Japanese subculture stuff, right? So this was Thailand. This was at Thailand 2013, and this one was at Auckland, New Zealand, Auckland, their capital. It's another event also in 2013. It wasn't me, okay? They both not me, okay? I'm not dressed like a woman or something. But I'm just saying. Our subculture, just like we actually saw in this class, a lot of people know anime, and our Japanese subculture is very famous internationally. And as a businessman, that actually means a lot of stuff, because once you have your culture outside your country, and they will come back because they watch anime, they want to come to Japan. That's why our the tourist number from outside of Japan is increasing every year. I remember last year we have 7 billion tourist people to visit Japan. And also, there's a small video I want to show you. Is at the right hand side you can see Obama, not this one.
My karate, and karaoke, manga, and anime, and of course, emojis. This also has historic significance. In 1960, President Eisenhower welcomed Prime Minister Abe's grandfather, Prime Minister Kishi, here to the White House. They signed the security treaty that endures to this day, committing America and Japan to an indestructible partnership.
Okay, that was Prime Minister, our Prime Minister Abe Shinzo, and everyone knows Barack Obama. And this happened. I remember it was like 2015, something. And he was saying he was thanking our Japanese culture and thanking anime exists. That's why he holding the very famous Japanese anime. Well, I don't think everyone knows, but very famous Japanese anime. So that's our international influence of Japanese subculture anime. And then this part I want to talk about a little serious, because we are businessmen. We want to study business. That's why I want to talk about a little bit about this Olai station or Olai city actually. This city was unknown, very small, like only 10,000, the population around 10,000 people, like that kind of small town, very small town. And then after the anime, there's an anime called Girls and Panzer. Panzer means tank in German, it's Panzer. And then there's Girl and Tank, that anime. Oh, dude. So that anime is the whole location was that Oalai city, and then there's a lot like this. This is the original location, and this is the location in the anime, and this is the city hall, the Oalai city hall, and that's city hall get blown up by the tank in the animes. After this animation, people rush to the city. Because they watch anime, they want to visit there, they want to see the real deal. So that's why people rush in there. And in Japan, you can, there's a unique tax system in Japan, is that you can pay your own living tax to your province. But at the same time, you can choose to pay this living tax to other provinces. So basically, you only need to pay the province, whatever the place is. You can choose, I want to pay Hokkaido, I want to pay Tokyo, I want to pay Osaka, whatever you want. People, after this one, people choose to pay tax for this specific city. And their yearly budget, their yearly tax income was 2014, it was 70,000 US dollar. And in 2015, after the anime, in 1 month, they reached to 1.4 million US dollar. That's like 1,000 times. So that's the power of people who watch anime and what they can do. This city right now is still popular even today because the Girl and Panzer, they've been serialized. So there's a season 2, season 3, and this movie come out. So every time they have new location and people want to visit there to see the new location, how related to the anime, those kind of stuff. So that's why this city is very popular right now for the anime. Okay? So there's a lot of cosplayer dressed up to the city and go to the city dressed like the anime character, and then go there to consume, go to a restaurant or take picture or those kind of stuff. So that's why this city right now, their financial situation is very good. That's just I think this is very important because we are we're businessmen and we have to know what is anime can do to the real world. That's one example. So, anyway, we go to a little deeper, the Japanese inside part. We have there's a lot of Japanese company, and those company I believe is very famous. And do you know all of it, or you know just one too? Sony, everyone knows, right? And Toyota, everyone knows. Panasonic, maybe? Okay, good. Mitsubishi, everyone knows. Okay. Actually, the very interesting story about Mitsubishi is this company made it like 500 years ago. Yeah, that was. I looked up this company because I feel interesting when I was in undergraduate because this company is so big. Their slogan is "We sell from pencil to missile." Yeah, that's their slogan. Okay, that's their slogan. They actually do. Because they have military part too, so they make the Japanese Defense Army's weapons and missiles and defense system, tanks, everything. And also they have small manufacture too. That's why they make pencils, they make cars, they make like light bulbs, everything. They make everything basically. And then Toyota is a very famous car company. They actually. The original Toyota wasn't about car at all. The original Toyota was the mending machine, like making clothes. But then after during the World War II and before World War II a little bit, the company leader changed to his son, and he has a brilliant idea because he went to America and see the automobile industry as a future. He saw that's a future, so that's why he spent a lot of budget to make cars, and then World War II, and then the Korean War, and he get rich. That's this one. So there's a lot of Japanese companies, and then these are the basic form of Japanese. Usually, Japanese office lady, we call OL, office lady. The Japanese office lady dress like this. They have to wear suits and skirt and stocking, about pantyhose in different ways. You have to wear this, okay? If you don't wear, you'll be a little bit weird in Japanese sense. And then in the left hand side, there's that's a Japanese male businessman have to wear. What kind of business you have, okay? Whatever you are like manufacturer or you are very high-end white collar stuff, you both have to wear suits. And you have to continuously, unless you are working on something. For example, if you're in the manufacturer line, and then, well, maybe you don't need it. Because suits is hard to move or something. But anyway, you have to wear suits. And you have to have this kind of bag, and tie, shoes, all season, okay? Even the summer, winter, it doesn't matter. You have to have it. And then this is the time schedule. So they sleep at 12 p.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. and then they sleep at 6 hours. This is very basic, okay? This is very basic. And then they work from 8 to 12, and they take 1 hour for 45 minutes, but basically 1 hour for noon break, for lunch, those kind of stuff. And then they work again till 5:15. And then you might wonder, what is this? This is their overtime. So that's why I said this is the basic Japanese people working time. Is because every company acquire you to work overtime. That's in the contract. It says you have to work like how many hours per month as overtime. We don't give you any money, extra money, overtime fees. Those, none. That's on the contract. You have to overtime for like my friend. I remember he said last month he overtime 100-200 hours per month. So basically you have to work over hour for 5:15. Well, your work supposed to over 5:15, but you have to still work until 8, and then there's your free time 8 to 12. So basically 4 hours you can. But I'm saying, in this free hour, you have to get back to your home. So that's why you have to spend another hour to get to your home and eat your dinner and take a shower. Basically, that's it. So that's how hard as a businessman in Japan. That's why a lot of foreigners, they come to Japan and they leave because this. And there's one documentary about that's in North Europe somewhere. I forgot the detail, but there's a girl there's a documentary about a girl who come from North Europe and work at the Japanese company for 2 years and suicide. Yeah, that's what happened. That's a real documentary. So yeah, working in Japan is very hard, a very hard thing. So this is more about, so in this slides I will talk about a little bit Japanese insight. First of all, there's a very good book read by Americans in 1946 after World War II. And she's name is Ruth Benedict. And she wrote this book. I cannot pronounce this. Can someone do this one? Okay, that and the sword. And this book is very interesting because it's focused on these two parts. it's mainly, this book is so accurate that United States Army, because this person, Louis Benedict, she worked for the United States Army during the World War II, and then other people said that's the reason they won war, because they understand what we think. And then in this book, there's two main parts about Japanese culture and also Japanese personality. The first part is individualism versus totalitarianism. The totalitarianism is, first of all, individualism is more focused on yourself. You want to be good at something, you want to improve yourself, you want to have a better car, better wife, better house, that kind of stuff. Everything focused on yourself. And then don't really work, in extreme, you don't really work with other people, you want to work by yourself, you like the individual, you prefer individual work more than group work. But in Japan, it's total different situation. And it's more about totalitarianism. What this is something what we call, one people says something, everybody follows that, okay? So basically, in Japan, there's always an opinion leader, and he or she will tell other people what to do. And everybody follows that, and everybody thinks that is a good opinion. And that's how simple but also complicated Japanese society is. Like Belgium presentation, you said something about, first of all, you don't sit with other people, right? And then after some time, you guys get to know each other, and then, well, you can sit with us, right? That happened in Japan too, but in a more bigger scale. We have first, we have a whole as a Japanese or as a company. Well, company actually is smaller than the whole. The big circle is as a Japanese. So that's why we always say, as Japanese, you should do this, you should do that, you are this, you are that. And then, in the company, because our life is bonded to the company, because once we graduate 21 or 18 years old or 17 years old, you belong to the company. This word is actually pretty funny, because a lot of my American friends ask me, why you say you belong to the company? Because we work there for life. So that's why we say we belong to the company. Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, we don't work for the company. We belong there because we are in there for like until, well, in the old world, that's until like 65, 60, basically. And then we retire. But everything you know is about that company and that work. And that's it. So that's why we say you belong to the company. And then, as a company man, what you should do. And then in the company, there's a small group, like if that's where you're working at, right? So basically, it becomes smaller circle every time. Then, just like Belgium said, we don't talk to each other. So that's why in the human resource department, they don't talk with other departments. And the friends stick with it together. So that's why we said that's and what, as an individual, we are very one for all for one. We want to have this society better. We want to have this group better. We want to have this company better. So that's why in the individual value, company success or the group success always come first. And then it's individual. That's why it's different. And okay, so that's the individualism versus totalitarianism, and then shame versus guilt. In the why this book talking about shame versus guilt? Maybe some people think shame and guilt maybe isn't the same thing. The truth is, it's not. Shame is come inside from you, but guilt is someone told you that's guilt. So that's why in this book, it's comparison to American culture and Japanese culture. And in American culture or Western culture in general, guilt is a very big problem. And that's why people are, that's what I've been told in Western country, you call sinner because you are guilty. You born with guilt. But in Japan, the reason it's a shame is because it's coming inside from you. You feel yourself, you feel the shame. The reason why you feel the shame is because other people are blaming you. Okay? But in the Western world, it's more like you are guilty because other people told you you are guilty. You know what I mean? So if you do, in the moral wise, you kill a person and nobody saw it, and you can get away with it because nobody, if there's only 2 humans in the earth, and you kill people and nobody blame you, maybe that's the act can be allowed. But in Japanese culture, that's not the case, because you kill somebody or you've done some bad thing, you feel guilty, or you feel the shame, you've done that, and that's come from you. So it's very different. And in this book, there's a lot of other like Japanese house or Japanese behavior, personal stuff is coming all to these 2 points. But anyway, so that's about Japanese insight. So don't, let's say, I can tell you guys one thing. Don't do to Japanese people is making a shame in front of everyone. That's the Japanese people most hated thing. You have to give them the face, just like Taiwanese. Okay, so that was about my Japanese presentation. And any questions?
Thank you.
Any question is fine.
Yeah.
What? No, what?
Is Kamasutra from Japan or from India?
Yeah.
From
What are you talking about?
It doesn't have anything with Japan.
What? I'm a little confused. Alright, other question. That doesn't count, right? Other questions? No?
How do you see the elderly poor man in Japan?
Who?
Elderly. I mean, old
Elderly.
person. Yeah.
Oh!
Do you have very father, mother?
Yeah, my grand. Well, they already passed away. What do I think? I think they are a very good resource as a businessman speaking. Because in the present world, you have to use them. And well, we have a silver worker in Japan. What silver worker is people who retired and older than 65 years old. And a lot of companies ask those people come back to work and give them salary, of course, not for free. McDonald's do a very good job at that because Japanese McDonald's, Japan McDonald's, they recruit those senior people and they pay as the same as the young people, or sometimes pay extra because they have knowledge. They know what they're doing, simply speaking. So that's why they pay more extra money about that. And I think that's a good thing in the way because another perspective maybe that's not. But
So
anyway.
are you interested to do more the long-term care meetings?
Long-term care business.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay, good.
By the way, your presentation was so short, so
Was it short?
it was so short. It was just like one of the most common things about Japan is tea. Like you have so many tea traditions.
Well, I thought Taiwanese already talked about this.
Yeah, but I thought Japanese and different.
That will take another hour. So.
That's exactly 1 hour.
Okay. So
Yeah, because look, can I? Just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Green tea, okay? Just a little bit. Green tea is different than the Taiwanese tea, okay?
Oh really?
It's actually very well. Okay, the species are different, so that's why it's very different. And in Japanese green tea, they still have They have 2 green tea and 1 brown tea. Brown tea is from brown rice, and well, simple as that. Brown tea is very healthy. Anyway. Then green tea, on the other hand, is not that healthy as everybody expected. Green tea actually is very high caffeine, and the highest green tea, the sickest green tea is called mortar. matcha. It's very, very, very lean. And it's the best one is actually made around the Kyoto, old capital. And then my friend actually from that city, and matcha is very, the thing is very bitter. So it's better than chocolate. It's almost same as like 100% chocolate. Have you guys ever tried 100% chocolate before? That is disgusting. Because, well, originally speaking, chocolate has a similar history as a green tea. But anyway, so that's why in Japan people drink green tea instead before. Okay? Before Japanese drink green tea instead of coffee is because they contain high caffeine. But after there's one time our government closed our whole Japanese island and keep away foreigners from coming. And then during that time, there's still a little bit like few foreigners coming in, and then they spread the coffee beans to Japanese culture. It doesn't really stick until World War II. And then when America come in, everything changed, and we're like original cultural stuff is being horrible. And then new culture coming in, Coca-Cola, coffee, those kind of stuff. And then, yeah, it become very popular drinks right now. But still, if you go to convenience store, there's like 10 types of coffee, and there's 10 types of green tea, something like that. But we don't have tea shop.
Okay, thank you so much. Would you like to continue? We have break 10 minutes. Break? Okay, thank you. So, you can prepare. You want to continue break? Break.
Hungry. Ess nicht zu viel.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Carla. I'm Melanie. Hello. And welcome to the Philippines. So we have this tagline, it's more fun in the Philippines. So we are more of a positive people. And so in the Philippines, we have the mixture of Western and Eastern culture. Western because we were colonized by Spain for 300 years. And then by America for 40 years. And then there are different influences from our Asian neighbors like China, Japan, and Southeast Asian countries. So the name Philippines came from the name of King Philip II of Spain. So it's Republica ng Pilipinas, or if we change it into English, it's Philippines. And we are the second largest archipelago in the world. First is Indonesia. And so we have 7,107 islands, but recently they discovered it should be 7,500 islands, and they need to confirm it first. And we are the third largest Catholic country in the world, and the oldest Catholic school is in Asia is also found in the Philippines. It's Universidad ng Santo Tomas, or University of St. Thomas. So for the flag,
Go on.
so for the Philippine flag, we are the only country in the world that our flag, if it's tilted upside down, it will have different meaning. So if it's blue over red, then it's peace. But if it's red over blue, then it means war. Okay, so if it's blue over red, it's a time of peace. So blue, it means like peace, freedom, and if it's red, it means revolution, like we fight for our rights. And for the 3 stars there, it means that 3 large island groups in the Philippines. It's Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And for the sun, there are 8 rays of the sun. So these are the 8 provinces that fought for our country against the Spaniards during the Spanish colonization.
So as Carla have mentioned, the Philippines has been colonized by the the Spaniards for 300 and how many years? 300 years. So we are very, there's a lot of things in the Philippines that are very Spanish. Like even our own language has a lot of Spanish words in it. So, and next.
For US,
US. Okay. So we need to. Okay.
for the group.
So also the USA have also colonized the Philippines for like around 30 years, 40 years. So there's also a lot of influence of the US culture in the Philippines. So that's why maybe in the Philippines we speak English. Yeah, that's
Before, our national language was Spanish, and then when the Americans came, it became American English. But our history books and our artifacts, usually it's in Spanish.
Okay, so next. So we're going to be talking about the Filipino values. So first we have democracy.
Yeah, so because we are colonized by different countries, we really wanted to be free. We have this motto in our country, for God, for country, for people, and for the environment. So we really fight, we have, the school has instilled in our values that we should fight for our freedom for the Philippines. And then for teamwork, we have one for all and all for one. Before, our local communities, they have these kind of houses made of bamboos. So if you wanted to go to another place, all of your neighbors, you will carry this together and you will go to another place. So it's like, we should work together. And then respect. For example, I'm the grandma of Malene, so whenever Malene will meet me, she has to do this. So it's a kind of respect. Also to our parents, whenever we go home, we need to do that to our parents as well. It means that we really care for them and we respect them. And patriotism, so it's a love for our country. Like we have deep respect for our flag. Like we shouldn't put it in the floor, or we shouldn't make a joke about it because it's sacred.
And of course, Filipinos are known to be faithful and religious. So I think 90% of our population is Roman Catholic. So that's because of the Spanish influence. And also, Filipinos are known to be compassionate, so I think all of you know that already. And of course, we have equality for everyone and gender sensitivity. So gay marriage, LGBT is okay in the Philippines to be practiced, but it's not legal. I mean, marriage is not legal.
Marriage is not legal, but maybe if you are two gays, you can go to America and get married and then go back to the Philippines. And we respect the gay people there. A lot of gay people have high positions in their jobs, in their offices, and also in beauty pageants, because Filipinos like beauty pageants, so they are the makeup artists, they are the designers. We have high respect for them, and everyone is equal there.
Okay. So if you ever go to the Philippines, you'll see a lot of gay men around. So next is attitude.
Okay, so we like to smile, and despite all the calamities happening, we are very positive. Like, for example, those floods and typhoons happening around. And for example, we saw the camera, people will just take a smile and hi, hello to my friends out there. So it's like, we forget about the calamity already. So we always say, you can never break our spirit. You can never break our smiles and spirits. It's just a typhoon, it will just pass away. So it's like that.
Next. So yeah, these are just photos of the Philippines. So as you could see on the photo over there, it's two couples getting married underwater. And then, yeah, native tribals in the Philippines. And I bet that's Boracay over there. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's a very famous island in the Philippines, Boracay. And then that's one of the festivals in the Philippines. What's the name of that festival, Carl?
I think it's the Nulog Festival. It's about giving, for Santo Niño. Santo Niño is the child Christ, so we celebrate it every January. Like, we have a lot of street parties. For every month, we have different cities have different parties as well.
Okay, so traffic in the Philippines. I don't know why they put it there, more fun. But traffic is very severe in the Philippines. So
because of the traffic enforcers dancing, because in the Philippines it's very hot and the traffic is severe, so it's like the traffic enforcer is the one who is giving joy to the people by doing the dancing while regulating the traffic.
Okay. So that's video okay, karaoke.
From Japan.
Yeah, from Japan. So a lot of Filipinos like to sing, so it's very common to see in any places video okay machine. So you just put in like I think $2 NT, and then you could sing a song. One song is $2 NT per song. Yeah. And so also in the Philippines, there's a lot of mountains. So there's also a lot of trekking activities in the Philippines, mountain climbing. So if you're into sports, so you can do that too.
So if you have a Filipino business partner, then you can do some of these things with them, like videoke or mountain climbing or picnic. Yeah, they will really love it. Or maybe go to the beach and have fun there. So for our behavior, like in the business field, whenever we meet each other, for male friends, we call it compare, compañero, or pare. So it's like, oy pare, and then we will just do this. Yeah, so it's like hug, and then, or we can do the handshake. Yeah, and then for the girls, it's like amiga, and then we will do the beso. Yeah. And then, but we are very respectful for their profession. Like we call professor or doctor, and then, for example, Malin, so hello Professor Malin or Dr. Malin. Or we can also use the surname. Another thing is, usually in the Philippines, our names are, the first name is American, like Mark, and the last name is Spanish, like Gonzalez. So it's usually like that. And another thing, we wanted to avoid offending, because so this one is like Asian culture. Like we don't want to offend you, or we don't want to embarrass you in front of the public. So if there are many ways to say no to you, or maybe we can just tell you after the meeting or something, like share the feedback after. We don't want to hurt you in front of others, because we know that you also work hard for it.
Okay, so we also have this thing called Filipino time. So Filipinos are not very known to be punctual. So it's very common for us if we set up a date or like a time with our friends to meet at, like let's say 1 o'clock, probably we'll be there around 1:30 or 1:45 or maybe 3 o'clock. So yeah, it's very common in the Philippines to be late. So next, symbols.
Yeah, so for symbols, we have the jeepney, so we call it a jeep, and it's a transportation in the Philippines. Apart from taxi, it's our country's own taxi, so it can go to the different parts like local or city or any provinces. The next one, with a horse, we call it a calesa. You can tour around Intramuros. Intramuros is a place where we put all about the Spanish history, so tourists can ride in the calesa. And then the mango, it's very sweet, and it's one of the famous fruits in the Philippines, and it represents the Philippines' golden heart, like our heart for other people and our care for other people. Next is the Banawe rice terraces. So it's one of the eighth wonder of the world. It's the eighth wonder of the world, and it's a symbol of unity of the Filipinos. That Filipinos work together to create this rice plantation. And then we have the Christ, the Black Nazarene, and then the Rosary to represent our religion, and then the Philippine monkey-eating eagle. So that's our national bird, and it represents the strength of the Filipinos. And then the pearl, it's very famous in the Philippines as well, and a lot of people, their business is also related to it, and a lot of people, their work is gathering those pearls and exporting it to other countries. And the last one is the carabao. It represents the hardworking Filipinos because it helps the farmers, and they're very determined to work for the farmers. So it's like us Filipinos, we're very determined to do our work as well.
So these are the very few artifacts from the Philippines. So there's actually a whole bunch of them, so we're just gonna show you a few. So so you could see here, there's like on the third photo on the right side, there's a photo of, no, not a photo, an image of a saint. So yeah, I think this is brought by the Spaniards. And at the bottom is gold bracelets. So I think that's very native for the tribals to have gold necklace. No, not necklace, bracelets. And then this is a very typical Spanish house in the Philippines. Yeah, so it's called mansion. Yeah, because it's huge. And then Carla will explain the last picture.
It's a church. We have a lot of century-old churches in the Philippines. And that one, at the second photo, it's a manunggol jar. So before, our ethnic Filipinos, our ancestors, they put the ashes inside the jar. So the first, you can see the two people there. The first one it represents the spirit of the dead person. And then the second one is like the one who will lead him to the safer place, to the peaceful place. Yeah, so it's a mixture of our local culture, of Western culture, and Eastern culture as well.
Rituals. So Filipinos are very religious. So as you can see, one of the festivals here at the first picture and almost all of the pictures, we have a statue of a saint. So that represents our religiousness. And yeah, so it's like every month in the Philippines we celebrate some sort of festival. So it's very common.
Yeah, so for example, if you wanted to go to the Philippines or if you have Filipino business partners, then you can dance with them, sing with them, and celebrate with them in the street parties. And lastly, for our languages, we have more than 182 native languages. And except for English, Spanish, Chabacano, and varieties of Chinese, we have Hokkien, Cantonese, and Mandarin. All of our languages belong to the Malayo-Polynesian language. So some of our words are also the same with Indonesia and Malaysia. Yeah, so for example, the hi, how are you? It can be kamusta in our city, but in the national language, it's kumusta. And then there are more ways to say hi, how are you in the different cities. On the first photo, you can see the baybayin. It's the original Filipino alphabet. But yes, because we were colonized by different countries, so it was just preserved, but it is never used again. But we hope that someday people from the younger generation could also appreciate the baybayin because it's really Filipino. Yeah, so for now, our alphabet has 28 letters, including the N, Nye, and the NG. Yeah, so it's 28.
So I think I'm gonna show them the video.
Okay, so this photo is about giving thanks to the different countries who help the Philippines at times of calamity. So it's like Philippines will never be Philippines without the help and the cooperation of other countries. So we are also very grateful people, and we thank them for all the things that they have done for us. So we hope that you can know more about the Philippines. So we have a short video here. These are islands. You can choose which one would you want to go.
It's more fun.
The Philippines. So we have a lot of options if you wanted to go there. So Manila is our capital city.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
We have a lot of coral species. You can do diving, or you can go mountain climbing, different animals, different stuff. You can swim with a whale shark there. So our hello is like, have you eaten? And we have the dancing policemen and traffic enforcement and flight attendants. The world's most perfect cone of the volcano is in the Philippines as well. And we like to party. Yeah, we call it fiesta. So different fiestas. We can celebrate rice festival, flower festival, food festival, anything about festival. So some of the famous people in the Philippines. halo halo. It's like mixed all together. So it's like the Philippines. We are mixed all together as one. And we'll have the sense of humor. Like we just laugh and take a joke.
It's more fun.
So that's it. It's more fun in the Philippines. Thank you.
Okay, any question? Yes?
What part of the Philippines are you two from?
We're from the same island, but I'm from Negros Occidental and she's from Negros Oriental. So it's in the middle of the Philippines. It's near Cebu. Cebu is the second largest island. Yeah, so it's near Cebu. Yeah, but we speak different dialect as well. Yeah.
Okay. But you speak Spanish with your family?
It's not, maybe the words are Spanish. It's mixed with Spanish, but it's like Tagalog. Tagalog is our national language.
Okay.
So it's mixed all together, English, Spanish, and then it's just like Singapore, they mix all together.
We're slightly confused.
Yeah. But we can understand Spanish if we can listen to them.
And there you also go to university, or where do you go?
Yeah, university
Okay.
as well.
Does every island have a university?
Yeah. Every island has a
So we have 7,500 universities.
Other islands, other islands are inhabited. Some islands they don't have names, they don't have people. So some foreigners they buy the islands there and they live there. So maybe you can buy it.
How much is it?
It's like a cookie. I find it. How much?
Okay, another one? Okay, so thank you so much. It's
Thank
very
you.
interesting.
Thank you.
One gentleman?
Gentlemen?
Yes?
Finally, the gentleman. Do I need to use this one?
Do I have to use this? I can just like talk.
Okay, you can only use.
Okay. If the mouse can do that, I will use it. Okay. My presentation has a name. I'll take a picture. Okay. Thank you. I don't feel awkward at all. Okay, so I'm gonna use this, okay? So basically, it's like I call it whatever because on one hand I'm from Lithuania, but on the other hand is like whatever because no one knows what it is. And it's kind of awkward because they're supposed to go last week after the Australian presentation, so put some kangaroos, and now it doesn't make any sense. What can I tell? Like, I say like whatever because like for the past 6 years I'm traveling, I'm trying to involve myself with people, I'm trying to meet them because people are interesting to me, and they always ask where you're from. I say, well, I'm from Lithuania, and then they say, oh, you're from Lithuania. I say, do you know what it is? And they give me like, you can't even imagine what kind of answer I get. It's like, Lithuania is a state in America, it's next to Iceland, it's part of Australia, it's a country in Africa, it's like, it's all over the world, basically. And like, so far the best answer was like 2 weeks ago from one of the professors. He says, where you from? I say, well, I'm from Lithuania. I don't know how it's Chinese, I say, Taiwan. Oh, he said like, oh, you're from Vania. And he said, this tone is like I start to believe that Vania actually exists and I'm from Vania. and then he said, you know, what's your name? I say, well, my name is Vaidar. I said, my Chinese name is Suwaida. And he's looking at me and said, oh, you from Vania. And I look at him and I said, yes, I'm from Vania. Okay, so basically I saw the professors, one of the layers of the culture, but they made some you could say I'm lazy, but at the same time I think we're living in the 21st century, which is like the most diverse century ever, and like it's very strange or like to talk about attitude or behavior about the country, not talking about the group, talking about the country. The country is usually it's a big one. Well, in my case it's not that big, it's like only 3 million people, but still it's very difficult to talk about it because if you go to rural areas, it's going to be totally different if you go to urban areas. If you go to one city, it's going to be totally different if you go to another city. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I don't know what to talk about. Is if I found like a research that was made that like explored the whole country, well, I could talk, but right now it's like I think it's impossible. It's like if you go to Vienna, it's a country in cannot talk about the whole of Australia, you know. So it's like if the people in Vienna is good, it doesn't mean that the whole of Australia is good. So instead of this, I just put like land, just like the most random thing ever. It's like I don't talk about land, and the first thing is like prepare to be your mind exploding because like believe it or not, Lithuania was the biggest country for 500 years, one of the biggest country in Europe. It was like this. It's actually quite huge. It's like, and then we became even bigger because we made the pact and union with Poland. And then the Russians and Germans become very jealous of us, and they say, we want you. So they took away, and now we like this small country like that. Small, strong, whatever. Okay, the language. Well, surprise to talk Lithuanian. It's like one of the hardest languages in the world. This is the longest word. You're never going to use it anyway. Maybe it's going to be fun. Believe it or not, we talk like more than one language, almost like 80% of the population. Because of the history, we talk Russian, English, Polish, German, and others. You have Spanish or French.
What's the meaning of the word?
Actually, it's like it's very difficult to explain because usually not going to use it. They just made up like the longest word. Actually, it's like we have this time of the year when you pick up the vegetables. So basically, that's means like you pick up the vegetables during that time. But like we don't use it. It's like you can say I pick up the vegetables. It's really easy.
So the only special for jokes?
Yeah, it's not for jokes. It's like officially the longest word. It's like in the vocabulary. If you look the Lithuanian vocabulary, you will find this word. Okay, the rituals. Well, when I thought about rituals, I started thinking about what the rituals that still exist and still mean something. So the first one is like still happens, not even in the big cities, small cities as well. Basically, they wear masks, not me. They wear masks, and on the last day in the winter, they welcome the spring. So basically, they just bake out of pancakes and celebrate. Usually involves a lot of drinking. And the next one, then we celebrate along the day in the summer, which is June 15. And during that time, they say, because the night is only for 5 hours, if they say if you find this, whatever it is, if you find this during the night, well, you're gonna be like the luckiest person in the world. And apparently, right now, no one is finding this because you're so drunk that you can't find this. Okay, the symbols. Well, as you may know, Lithuania, of course, you should know that Lithuania is the last country in Europe to have like the Christian, to come like be the Christians. So before that, we were pagans. And we have a lot of symbols. Usually, use these kind of symbols in our traditional clothes, and you're never going to see them around anymore because they are very old, like 2,000 years ago. And like the most common is like this is the sheep of Lithuania, and this is the flag of Lithuania. The yellow represents the sun, the green represents the grass, and the red represents the blood because we have so many wars. And I think the most common symbol in the 21st century is Wi-Fi. But I don't have Wi-Fi, a symbol for them, so whatever. And when I put the artifacts, I was really hungry, so I just put all the foods here. And I thought like I don't want to put all the castles and like the old stuff because it's not very interesting. So if you talk like to the young person, to the old person, probably everyone gonna know the black bread because like during oral life we baked it, and it's difficult to find this even in Europe because usually they eat this white bread. Then there is the amber, the Baltic's gold. Then there is like it's not beer but it looks like beer. It's made out of honey. It's called midus, and we baked it like for, I don't know, a couple thousand years already. And like the new one, because a lot of my Chinese and Taiwanese friends that visit Lithuania they always send me a picture of the pink soup. I guess it's like now the artifact of Lithuania. Okay, and the values. Well, it's really strange because like I think our like not our generation, like my mother generation, my grandfather generation is based on the freedom and independence because like we all always were occupied by someone. So it's like 1989 it's like 3 countries. It's in Guinness World Book right now. It's like the longest human line, and like the Baltic countries like they were in the 1999 they were still occupied by Russians and they were really upset about it. So they want to be free, and what happened, we get our freedom, but like 1 year later, the Russians says, you know what, we don't want this. So they start to occupy us again, but like the whole Lithuania was in our capital, and they tried to do something. Of course, some people died, but like we got our freedom back, and now we have two independence. One is February 16, the other is March 11. And when we talk about the values, I think what's important is like the independence and freedom was very important, like for our family, like my mother, my father, my grandfather, but like for us, we're living in the peace like century and age, so it's like it's very difficult, and plus they force us like to believe in this freedom and independent shit during our like studies. Like it's come on, it's like during my studies on my like literature, Lithuanian literature and history, they always put you, they force to put you like you have to read this book about the freedom, like but come on, we live in peace centuries. Like even if the war is gonna happen, like it's gonna be really fast, and like you cannot even go fight for your country because it's gonna be so fast. So it's really strange because the generation is changing, and right now I think the value is probably like most of the millennials is probably like Wi-Fi, Facebook likes, Instagram likes, and like whatever. It's like I don't know. The generation is changing, so it's like the values that it's supposed to be there, the independence, the freedom, the family, like it's not there anymore, and it's kind of sad. And plus, like Lithuania is like one of the only country in the Europe that the people that actually there's more people dying than the growing. So I don't know. They say like 150 years there's gonna be Lithuania. So take a picture of me, of course. Like the last Lithuania. Thank you.
Okay, so any question?
Thank you. No questions.
Any meaning about your mark? Anything?
This one?
Yeah?
Yeah, but they said I'm gonna tell this only to my future wife, unless you want future wife.
You what?
Yeah, I'm only gonna tell this to my future wife. Oh, this one I thought I did it because my mom beat the cancer and she made it.
Oh my God. So it's very cool.
Thank you.
And do you know about the year? Why you put this one? Any meaning?
This one, I put this one?
Yeah?
Because my sister was afraid to make, so I went there with her, and in the end we made it together. That's it.
But in Chinese history we don't like.
You don't like?
Yes.
So Professor, you don't like me?
No, I like you, but I just talk the Chinese story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a long time ago, the king of the Chinese, okay, actually, the god, maybe he want to let him become a king. So, he was very, very young and always cried. So his grandmother just take the ear, black ear, and then he become quiet. But after that, he lost the position. Because in Chinese history, only Chinese, not for you, okay? If the man, the ear, take the whole, is represent, become free man. So, cannot be king again. So the man.
I hope I'm not Chinese.
So the man, we cannot take a whole.
Do you trust tradition?
The tradition, if you been the gay, maybe you like. But so in the Chinese, no. So you can check all the Chinese. Nobody takes one.
So I saw a lot of Chinese young people doing that kind of stuff.
So
They're not going to be king anymore.
because they don't know about this history. Okay.
So that's
If
like
you,
one of the
if
reasons
you
that
follow the modern Chinese philosophy, okay, they don't like. Okay, so I'm not sure, but I mean, all the time will change. Okay, maybe nobody concerned for this situation. What you can do, you do very well. Okay, yeah, because you are handsome, so you can do anything. So, any question? No.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay,
You're the
thank you
best
so
one.
much. And actually, everybody all did very well, and now we only have another two groups. One one for Germany, one is Mexico. So would you like to present next week?
But next week, it's in 2 weeks, because next week we don't have class, so we do.
Yes, no problem, just delay. Okay, just extend to the next time. Would you like?
Sure.
Yeah, and I also listen to some like the Philippines. You talk something about the karaoke. So would you like try some?
Karaoke.
Yeah. So each group you need to design some special.
If we have like at least like 10 beers, I can do karaoke.
Yeah, seriously. Yes.
Very nice.
Very good.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. When I was studying in the UK, actually I got a very high challenge. I went to the UK on 1999, and then I stayed there 6 years, and after that I spent 10 years to get my PhD. So actually it's quite challenging because before, study in the UK, actually my English is quite poor. My ability is not enough. So actually I got a high challenge, but it's no choice for me. I must go there. Okay? So sometimes I just try to recover my mind. You know, my mind actually got homesick or very heavy. So every day I just sing the song, okay? And my roommate, Italian girl, she was very friendly. Actually, we had the common room. I think we near 50 students get together. We have the big kitchen, very big one. So when I cook something, I sing the song, and my roommate or my classmate, they can listen to my mind. Okay, today I'm happy or not. Okay, and one day she just said, okay, you can sing the song, and then she can dance it for me. Okay, so I mean, it is quite good. So every day I just sing a song every day, and then I think it's much better. I can keep younger and recover everything. So this is my experience. So would you like to try some? So I'm not sure. Maybe actually my story is quite different with yours because you are so young. Okay, you a lot of friends. You can enjoy the life. But actually I'm middle age. Okay, when I was studying there, no friend. Okay, so every day just sing a song. Okay, so all right. So maybe next, if you are interested, we can try to prepare and try to do more negotiation. In particular, you do some international business. Okay, you go to the Japan. You need to join your Japanese friend go to karaoke as well. So the Japanese, would you like try to sing the song?
Yeah, you should. Some Japanese song.
Yeah. So
Pokemon theme song.
But I think next time, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
You just prepare something, or maybe sure or something about the
I will make sure Maki will be here.
All right.
Bring him to the class.
Okay. So today the class just stop here, and I hope you have good holiday next week. Okay. Bye bye.